Okay, as I said in the last bit, your draw length is always going to differ in reenactment archery, but to get that shot repeatable we need to make everything else as consistent as we possibly can. So now I'm going to move on to actually shooting the bow. The first part is how you hold the bow itself. It may sound really stupid, but it's a really easy place for your shot to start going wrong. So you want to be holding the bow with this part of your hand here. Okay, so the bow sits in there, and you want minimal contact from the rest of your fingers. And let me show you that there. So the pressure of drawing the bow will keep that in your hand. So it's there, like that. And I can draw it back. It's there. You don't have to hold it like that, but I can't interfere with it. If I'm gripping the handle tight, then as soon as I start pulling back I can twist it, ruin my shot. So if these are just laid on gently, if at all, and it offers the minimum interference when you're drawing that shot. Okay. Okay, the next bit is where the arrow attaches to the string, so your knocking point. On mine you can see, if I can get that in the camera there, you can see I've got a little brass ring that allows me a consistent place. I always know that my arrow is shooting from the same place. If I'm holding my hand on the handle in the same place, my arrow is knocked in the same place, shot's going to be, consider they're firing from the same, shooting from the same place, not firing. Also allows me with blind knocking, if I put the arrow on my string, just pull it up without looking at it, and it's there. You'll probably find you want to have this end slightly higher, so when the arrow leaves your bow, it lifts it up above your hand so you don't get any feather cuts or anything on your hand if you're shooting without gloves. That always means that the arrow leaves the bow from the same place. Okay, and the other part of your shot cycle is fingers on your bow, so on the string. So most people will shoot Mediterranean split finger. It's the most common you see, especially in the Vike. So these three fingers, one above, two below, and it's just literally tips on or into that first crook of your fingers, whatever feels more comfortable to you. And you just draw it back. You'll notice that my arrow is on the left hand side of the bow, my fingers are on the right hand side. When you're shooting, the arrow leaves the bow, and it's known as the archer's paradox, but essentially by having the arrow on that side and your fingers on this side, it allows the arrow to straighten up quicker. The forces are even on either side of the bow. A few people started shooting, there's a guy called Shadiversity who calls it the cradle draw, but they shoot from the other side. You can do that, I know people who do that. The issue with that is your shot will tend to go to the right because you're adding force onto the string this way, so when you pull your fingers off it torques the string slightly this way, and the arrow also wants to travel that way because it's the direction it's leaving the bow. So it can affect your accuracy. You can overcome it, and I know people who do, but it's not necessarily the best mechanics for the shot. For the arrow leaving the bow. If you were to engage something like Hatra into your shot cycle, that would probably negate it, but it's too complicated for me to put into this video here. So it's also thumb draw, which you would normally shoot on this side because it puts the pressure onto this side of the string, onto the left hand side, which straightens up the shot that way. Not many people shoot this style, but thumb underneath and then one or two fingers over there, and then drawing back with the thumb. And when you release the string, you want to add a certain amount of follow through to your shot. It's not always the easiest thing to do when you're short drawing. Certainly at full draw you'll notice it, and you'll probably, once you get used to it, start bringing it into your short draw as well. You'll know straight away if you're doing a bit of follow through. You'll be able to see, especially if you do this, what I'm doing now, and film yourself shooting, when you're at full draw and you release, when your fingers leave the string, if you're not plucking the string, then your fingers sort of paint your face like this. They'll come back behind your face. If you're plucking, your hand will come away. Again, that can affect the arrow leaving your bow, and you'll start to find that you'll get a stray shot go a bit off to the left or whatever, because you've pulled the string out to the side as you're releasing it. So hopefully I can show you a shot with proper follow through, painting my face. I'll do it with this stretchy band because I haven't got enough garden to do a full draw shot. Right, again, bring it back to full draw. If you're plucking the string, you'll see that your hand will go like that generally, rather than back behind. You're extending your shoulders, and the follow on the compression of your shoulders brings your hand behind your face. So do it again. And finally there's aiming, which I can't teach you. I don't aim. I'm an instinctive archer, so I just point and shoot and it goes where I want it to. There are lots of methods of aiming. You can gap shoot, you can just use the end of your blunt, place it on the target, see where that goes, and adjust your shots from there. Lots of different ways. You've got to get used to it, and everyone's shot is slightly different, so I can't teach you where to aim. I can teach you a few different methods of how to aim, but I don't use one. I just point and shoot. I'm an instinctive archer, so someone else is probably better at teaching you aiming techniques, but I can do it. I do it. But there's probably better people there than me for that one. Yeah, so next I'm going to go on to some formation stuff and commands.